Hey everybody, and welcome to this Legion Commander Bitucational, brought to you by myself in collaboration with my partners over at Bitburger00. They're gonna help me make my videos, such as this one, more professional. And yeah, we're gonna see how that goes today. Like I said, we're gonna talk about Legion Commander, simply because Legion is one of my most played heroes in general, top 3 most played. I've played this hero plenty of times. I have like 2k, more than 2k duel wins on this hero, 2.6k. Also, this hero varies a lot in terms of skill build, item build, how you need to play it in the game, behind your team, in front of your team, initiating, counter-initiating. And I just see people making a lot of mistakes on this hero, really, when it comes to duel usage, spell usage, like I said, item build. Because there's more to this hero than just pressing duel and buying a blink and a blade mail. So I want to try to educate you guys on that. And with that said, let's get right into the video. What I'm going to try to do today, as compared to other educationals that I have recorded, is the fact that I'll try to go over it through demo mode, give you guys some explanation as to the skill builds, when you want to do what, and then we're going to look over replays that I played, where I think it's going to be a lot easier for me to show crucial moments there rather than me playing my own game. Alright guys, let's talk about Legion spells. You have Overwhelming Odds for starters. It's a AoE spell that has base damage of 40, 60, 80, 100. And then what's important to note, the more units you hit, the more damage it will deal. So you want to try to hit as many creeps and heroes as possible. It also has some bonuses, this spell. It has 25% illusion damage. And then you get bonus speed for every creep and hero you hit, and the buff lasts for 7 seconds, the movement speed buff. So what does this 25% illusion damage mean? It means that you instantly remove about 25% of HP from illusions, which is very strong. These Naga Illus, they take 350% damage. They nearly instantly die to you just using the spell. If you play against a Naga who has all his Illus on the same place, they just die. If you look at a TP Illu, sadly you can't control the Illu by itself. If you hit the Illu alone, it actually dies when he has no stats. It might even die when it has stats. I don't think so. It barely survives. So, and same with Phantasm. Like if you hit the Phantasm with one hero, boom, it nearly instantly dies. So this spell is super good against push lineups when there's a lot of summons. It's really good against illusion carriers and illusions in general, like this, because as you can see, you just clear them really, really fast. Then you have your second spell, which I think is the best spell that Legion has right now. It's called Press the Attack. You can use it on yourself or an ally, and it will purge them. It's a strong dispel. So if I create Hero Crystal Ally, and I let it get stunned by the CK, if I just W her, the stun is gone. She gains HP regen and attack speed. So this is a super strong spell. And this is currently one of the big reasons as to why Legion is in the meta. Apart from other reasons that the hero is really fast. I think it's one of the fastest melee heroes in the game right now, in the early levels. And this spell, if used properly, is very detrimental in most games. Then you have the passive from Legion Commander, which is called Moment of Courage. You have a 25% chance to counter-attack and lifesteal, depending on how much damage you deal. And then you have duel. Most people understand how duel works. It's a specific duration. You force a guy to duel you in a 1-on-1. If you win the duel, you get damage. If he wins the duel, he gets damage. But what's important to note nowadays, if you do win a duel, you break free and it procs your press the attack. So if I do this, but now you win the duel, while you're stunned, you break yourself free of the stun, debuff, whatever. So it's really important that oftentimes you man up and use that duel. Because oftentimes winning this duel, it will give you the spell, which will heal you, make you strong. They might still throw spells on you, and suddenly, as I said, you break free and you get to continue fighting. But this also means that your teammates should help you. Because winning the duel, like let's say you barely win it, because someone threw this one more spell on. It might mean that you get duel damage, you don't die in the duel. Not only do you win the duel, but it also means that the spell will proc on you and suddenly you can continue fighting, which is really important. So these are some basics to the hero. And now I'm gonna show you guys some stuff that some people don't know. Especially about the third spell, where I'm also gonna go into a replay in a moment and show it to you. So, what you can do with the passive that many people don't know, you can use your passive to deny. I don't know why this is in the game, but let's look. I draw creep aggro to get my passive in a moment. And you can just proc it on your creeps to deny them. See, like I said, what many people don't know, you can use this to manipulate denies. And it's not very hard, really. So you skill your passive. Let's get it 2 levels just for the sake of it being easier to do. So you skill your passive. And now all you're gonna have to do is to, I mean, in order for this spell to proc, you need to be getting hit by something, right? So you click on an enemy hero to draw creep aggro from the creeps. And then you instantly look to deny a creep. And then, I don't know why it works like this, but it has no cooldown when you proc it on denies. And it's really hard for your enemy to last it against you when you do this. Of course, you don't lifesteal from the deny, but I hope you guys get the point. Like, this is really crucial. You should look to abuse this as much as possible. Like, I'm not sure what you do against this. When you play against a Legion commander who keeps abusing this, I think it's not easy at all. Like, look, you just have like infinite amount of attacks that suddenly get thrown on this creep, and it's super hard to deny. So I'm gonna show it off one more time. So basically all you need to do, once a creep gets close to the deny range or gets there, you creep aggro, and then you start denying a creep. When you creep aggro, you make all these creeps attack you, highering your chance of counter-attacking, and then you just start A-clicking your creep. It is so strong, and it is not getting abused enough. You know, people aren't doing it enough. So this is like one of the very big tricks that I think people are not abusing currently. Now we can look into skill builds of this hero. Okay, so what's important to know with this hero set? It has a lot of skill builds. Right now, the most common skill builds is that you max your press the attack or you max your overwhelming odds. But your starting builds can vary. Maybe you are going 0-2-1 or 1-1-1. Maybe you start with passive level 1. Maybe you start with press the attack level 1. Maybe you start with overwhelming odds level 1. All of these have very different usages and purposes. So you need to kind of understand what the spells do and why you may need them. Let's say you go into a lane. Let's say you lane against a tri-lane that can't kill you. You probably want to go overwhelming odds because it gives you a lot of damage. Perhaps you're laning with a hero who can't secure the range creep. Which is not that common, but let's say your support has a hard time, or you're soloing and you want to secure creeps, you could go overwhelming odds to secure the range creeps. But most of the time right now, level 1, you want to skill either press the attack or moment of courage. And this depends on how you can play the lane. If you play against a disruptor, Jakiro in the lane, you should go press the attack level 1. And I'm going to showcase this to you in a replay just in a moment. Moment of courage, you should go level 1 if you're going to play against melee heroes, if it's easy for you to trade and stuff like that. So I'm gonna go into a replay here real quick where I get to showcase to you guys. The reason why this hero is strong in the meta right now is that it's a very solid laner for many reasons. It has high HP, she has high damage, she has decent armor at 2.9, but her strongest point is her movement speed. It is 330 base move speed. That is insanely high, especially for a melee hero. Look at these other heroes in the game. I'm faster than any of these heroes of the enemy team. I'm also the fastest hero in my team, by far. And then you have a purge, so it's easy for you to lane. You don't get countered by too many heroes right now from the carry and support pool. Like, it is fairly decent. And then also there's different item builds, as I touched on earlier, which allow you to play the game in a different way, even if you are countered by specific heroes. But we're gonna touch on that later. So for now, I'm playing in this dual lane with a Rubik. He's gonna make a very good call in a moment. He's gonna draw on the map. As you can see, he's drawing this line, and then he pings that Jakiro's missing. Because if we run from the same angle, we might get double dual breath. So that's a very good point. So this is a lane, as I touched on earlier, where you definitely want to go press the attack level 1. Why? Because you will purge liquid fire from this guy. And not only will you purge it, you also gain attack speed and HP regen. So it's a super good trading spell. So we go for the runes here. We trade both. We get them. Now we're gonna start fighting them. When a liquid fire comes out, boom, we just purge ourselves. So basically, what's gonna end up happening is that we trade. He uses 135 mana. I use 110. He ends up dealing 0 damage because I purge it. So he has no slow, no damage. And on top of that, I use less mana, but I gain 150 HP regen in case I'm lacking any HP. And I gain bonus attack speed in order to help me trade. So, like I said, you go press the attack level 1. Usually this is a very cookie cutter starting item build for a Legion Commander when you play her off lane. This hero is versatile, you can play it in safe lane and mid lane too. But yeah, we're just gonna play the lane. Nothing too crazy here. We ping the creep, so we deny it together. We wanna make sure that, you know, you wanna buy a stick or quelling blade are usually your early items. In this lane, I opt to buy a stick, simply because I'm gonna use this spell a lot to press the attack. And also because they have a spamming lane. Like Jakiro relies on using dual breath and PA relies on using dagger. So what happens here? He only breaths the Rubik. So I'm just gonna purge the Rubik. Because again, now suddenly instead of Rubik getting bullied by Jakiro, it's gonna be the other way around. And I already know that I can somewhat sustain myself. I have a mango, I'm gonna have stick charges in this lane, and we'll be fine. So basically he gets to heal all the damage, and Jakiro is starting to not like it. So we're getting close to level 2. Usually if you start with W level 1, you want to go Moment of Courage level 2. It's just like the best way to go about it. The only times right now where you do want to go Q is if you can pressure a lot. And maybe if you play against high armor heroes. If you play against Naga, Terrorblade, you're probably better off going Overwhelming Odds. Because those heroes have such a high armor pool and low HP pool that odds is really strong against them in the lane. And also because it just clears their illusions, okay? But most of the time you want to go W into E, and I believe I do go Moment of Courage here. They pulled the camp, so we're going to go over there. So now we do have Moment of Courage. So like I spoke about earlier, we want to look to abuse the deny factor when we have this spell ready. Here it's a bit hard because we're in the tower, but here we were able to do it. Once again, we can do it in slow motion. This is nothing too crazy, like you don't have to be a pro player to do this. So what do? Maybe we look at player perspective so you can see it easier, so it's easier to visualize. So it's gonna be on the range creep. The range creep goes low, I click the PA, and now I A-click my range creep, I proc my passive, and suddenly boom, I'm gonna start getting some denies. Also here, a small tip which some people don't abuse. If you ever get in a position where you either wanna push the lane back, or it's possible that the enemy team is not ready for you to come to laning contest, what you see me do here, I'm gonna play your perspective again. So I'm pulling the wave back, and now I'm creep aggroing on the PA. I click on him, and now I run back. Now I force these melee creeps to follow me, and I'm gonna manipulate them to run on this range creep, so that now this range creep is gonna get into deny range first. And before they're ready to throw a dagger or whatever, I get to deny it. And they couldn't even really do anything about it. So here again, I look to creep aggro, just to proc my passive faster. Nothing too crazy yet. I want to push in the lane a bit because they pulled. Yada yada, nothing too crazy happening. We're going a 0-2-1 build because I feel like I don't really need my odds. Also, if you have a lane where this spell is good, it's hard to use both odds and PTA a lot because it does the mana cost does stack up. You're a strength hero after all, and you don't have the most mana regen. You usually have a mango and a stick maybe to sustain your mana. So if this spell is like whichever one of these two spells is really good in the lane, you usually only want to spam one simply because of mana. So I have 2 levels of my W, which makes me feel very good. You know, we're gonna do the same thing here, where we pull 2 creeps back. And there's another small tip. When you do this, if you do get these creeps back, you need to pay attention how far you pull these 2 creeps back. Why? Because if you pull these two too far up, and then you want to pull it on the range creep, this range creep might be in tower range, which means if you pull these melees on the range and the wave is too far up, the melee creeps will die before the range creep goes in the nigh range. So you see me here taking a step down so that when this fight happens later and I aggro these 2 creeps on the range, that it doesn't happen in this circle. Because otherwise this range creep will not go into the nigh range. So here again, we have 2 melee creeps that go on the range. And once again, they're not in range to come over and deny it. So boom, we get free gold for ourselves, better lane control, and we take experience away from the enemy team. Here we have it again. Here we can zone him. We see that they're pulling. So here we do the passive trick again where we pull. What I could do here again is I think pull the... Here I can decide. Do I pull these 2 melee creeps on the range? I don't know if it's quite possible because it's a bit late and I have 4 melee creeps. I don't know if this would go in the night range. Or I can push it in and run here right away and help my Rubik. I don't quite know what I opt for here. So I do try to pull it back, but it won't work. It was too much. So instead I should have pushed in the lane and went to my Rubik. So here I see that they're going on him. I'm gonna purge the dual breath and the thunder strike from him with my passive. Let's try to block a bit. He does get to stay alive with stick, salve. And now I know I'm really strong in this lane, you know, like I have decent armor. If I fight back, I can lifesteal a bit. So I know that I should man up. I have tangles, I have sticks, so I'm gonna keep fighting them because I'm very strong. If they use their spells, which they are, I can just purge myself again and I feel really good. So they're gonna play 2 on 3, but it's not that easy for them to pressure us. If we play properly, like, look, they use all their spells, I purge myself, I can use my Q and I feel good again. Now we are running a bit low on mana. I have a 10 stick, but it won't give us both spells. If I remember correctly, I do make a mistake here. So I pop my stick and I use my Q, which is a mistake here. Simply because I don't have mana for both spells. I had to hold my PTA ready, because I do think my Rubik dies here, simply because I used my spells wrong. We do still get both bounties, so it works out okay. Another small tip, if you play in the... no matter what role you play, guys. If you play safe lane, if you play off lane, whether you're the position 1, 3, 4 or 5. If you die, or if your ally dies, bring each other your items, you know? I buy these items, I ping them out. He's gonna bring me a mango and a blades of attack, because this just means that I'm gonna have more mana in the lane. I don't have to use courier for the blades of attack. And it just makes the whole game easier, you know? Maybe my mid laner needs the courier. Here we got another deny with the passive trick. Here we're kind of waiting for them to use their spells. We purge ourselves again. We're fine here, we get to use our spells. Okay, we run back to the shrine, we regen up. Back to the lane we go. We're about to have phase boots now. And with this hero, you really want to play aggressive. Unless you're getting owned in the lane, you want to play very aggressive. Like here you can see, I just keep running at them, even though they're 3 heroes. They're outnumbering us, but we're going. So same story. My Wyvern comes over, we bait a bit. This is like nothing too crazy in terms of Legion gameplay. But yeah, so early items that are important on this hero is Quelling Blade and Stick, and then you usually want to get Phase Boots if you can. If you have a good game, you'll either go Chainmail or Boots. Other than that, you could consider getting a Bracer or a Ring of Basilius. Here we get another deny with the passive trick, which is great. We're getting close to our level 6 right now. Push in the lane. Also, if you want to push lanes faster, just creep aggro to make the creeps hit you, so you have a higher chance of proccing your Moment of Courage. Which is kind of what we're doing here. We're hitting in this lane. Cookie cutter items that I have every game with Legion is Stick and Windlace. Windlace is super good on this hero. This hero runs incredibly fast and it's going to help you to reach your duels. So here, one thing you need to be open-minded about Legion is, one, is defending towers, because like I said before, your Q spell is really good. It makes you very fast, so after you use your Q, it's easy for you to wave around. And you obviously defend towers well. If there's a creep wave hitting a tower and a hero, you boom, you drop it there. It's like 200, 300 damage on your enemy, and it's gonna feel very good. So here, the second thing you want to be mindful about is helping your cores. Why? Because when you TP in and use this W, you purge them from slows, urns, stuns, and you give them HP. So here, as you can see, if we go to my player perspective, I'm already aware. Here I call out that the PA went to the bottom rune. I see that they go on my DP, and I'm just gonna TP over. I start pinging, I say I'm coming, so that they know that they can go on. Here, I purge the torrent from him. He's gonna heal up, and now we get to turn the fight around. Simply because we TP over, and we purge him. So this feels great. We're getting close to duel right now. We do have it completed. I'm just gonna salve up to be full HP. In order for them not to contest this camp, I'm just gonna farm it out here, not let them come over. Once again, I drop my Windlace to my Death Prophet, so that he can bring it over, so I don't have to use my courier, because he said he wants to come and gank bottom. So now we're considering to get this kill. If you do max your W, usually 1-3-1 is a good build. Like I said before, the builds on Legion are very dependent on the game. You kind of just need to figure it out yourself. Like, is it a good press the attack game? Do you maybe have to stop pushes with overwhelming odds? You know, stuff like that. So here we're looking to dive. I don't quite know if we're getting him. Here I think I do mess up my duel. Anyway, like I could have probably dueled the PA, but I end up getting the duel on him. And once again, if you win the duel, you break 3. And that is so important. Because here we're getting some debuffs on ourselves. I think we're getting dual breathed or whatever here. We're daggered. We're daggered by PA. We're dual breathed by him. And we win and we get it off ourselves. So here we push. We get another kill here, which is great. We're gonna talk about item builds on this hero, okay? Because this hero has a lot of them. So like I said, cookie cutter items that you want every game on Legion. Pretty much every game, okay? Like you can't really go wrong buying these items. Phase boots. Like this inventory is super cookie cutter. You go to lane with your starting items, your Stout Shield, your Regen, your Mango. You buy a stick and a Quelling Blade because it helps you CS. Makes it harder for them to deny. You buy a stick because it allows you to trade better. Maybe it gives you mana for your overwhelming odds, for your press the attack. Then you're gonna buy some boots. You maybe buy a Casual Bracer. You buy a Windlace because this hero is very reliant on move speed. Also, you're likely to buy a Solar Crest or Drums, which are built from Windlace. Then you buy Phase Boots once again. Those are your favorite upgraded boots. Even though they have been nerfed a few times, they give you move speed, they give you armor, which this hero doesn't have the most of. But most importantly, again, it's the move speed part. So now you need to decide in most games, what do you want to build on Legion Commander? The hero was kind of reintroduced into the meta strongly by OG Seb, who I would say invented this skill build with the max PTA and buying aura items, such as rushing a pipe, going Solar Crest to build to enable your cores. Because back in the day, I mean, not to credit myself, but I kind of had the same idea of this hero, but I could never make it work the way Seb did, where this hero is not always the best initiator, because oftentimes the enemy team has a lot of AoE, which means if you jump in first, you're gonna bait your team to help you in the duel, and then make it super easy for the enemy team to turn around, right? Your Earthshaker, Winter Wyvern, you know, whatever. Like you make your team stack up, and then boom, they counter initiate. So in some games, it's way better if you enable your core by playing behind them with saves. So if you play with, let's say you play with a Luna, a Shadow Fiend, who are having a really good game, but your game is only like mediocre, then you should look to just build a pipe, maybe a medallion, a Vlad's. You stay behind them, you let them hit the tower to, you know, force the enemy, and then your enemy has to decide. If they go on that core, there's a pipe, there's a Solar Crest. Obviously, you can always purge them free from stuns, so they can pop their BKB right after. And that's, in many games, that is just way better than you going in first by rushing a Blink Dagger and dying. So that is mostly the build right now. But in this game, you're gonna see something else. And the reason that in this game I go for a different build is that my early game is great. My early game is absolutely terrific right now. I'm top net worth in the game. Which means I'm not gonna go this supportive type of build. I'm gonna build for my own core. I think this is right now slightly underrated to go this item build. So right now I'm debating to go either Blink or Blade Mail. The reason why Blade Mail first can oftentimes be good is that since this hero did receive a movement speed buff, it's pretty easy to reach duels without Blink Dagger, and it has very good build up, the Blade Mail that is. You can buy all the items in a side shop in case you are side laning still. It gives you armor, intelligence, and damage, which is great. And also it means if you do go in with the duel first, if they start throwing all their spells on you, they at least take a lot of damage. So if you do go down, in return you end up dealing a lot of damage. So here, oftentimes, Legion is one of the best offlaners when it comes to defending the tier 1 safe lane tower. Sadly, in this game, we make a very big mistake, but overall, I want to show you the idea of this hero. Also, note that I get 2 levels in odds instead of passive, because simply I know I'm going to defend this tower now. Usually, you don't want to max the spell that early. If you go for this build and there's a lot of fighting or pushing going on, you usually want to go overwhelming odds. If you're going to farm a lot of creeps, then you can max Moment of Courage. But I would advise you to go this build if you max W. So what's going to happen is that I TP top. And like I said before, this hero holds towers very well. You use this spell and most pushes are not fully over, but people lose a lot of HP. So here we sadly overplay, but the overall idea of this play was just to defend the tower, which we would have achieved, but we overchased. And like I said, I was debating between Blink and Blade Mail, but since I did go down here, I have both queued up. I have both queued up now, and since I do die, this is just a general tip that you should always do, guys. Spend your gold before you die. Unless it's late game and you're gonna need buyback, spend your gold before you die. So here I realize, okay, I'm gonna die, I'm X'd. And you're gonna see me just spend my gold before I die, just to make sure I lose less gold. So here I buy this item, I buy the chainmail, and boom, we feel good. Note that I run out to a lane. Of course, I don't have TP ready, but even if I did have TP, I should run out to a lane. Why is that? Because like I said before, this hero is good in TP rotations. You should keep your teleport ready to either A, defend a tower, or B, to teleport to one of your cores and help them and purge them. So, gonna run around, we stack our ancients with our overwhelming odds. That's good. We go bottom, we're gonna get to finish our blade mail. So here we know that they're coming bottom. I could kind of feel it. And now I see that my team is coming. So I'm gonna start turning around, running at them. And so here I know I purge myself because I know the disruptor is kind of close. I haven't seen him in a bit. I know he's here. Now I see that he's running in again, so I'm gonna use my W, run at him. So now I'm gonna blade mail and just run at him, and now I know he's about to static. So I'm not gonna ulti him yet, I'm just gonna run up already, anticipating the static. I'm gonna keep running in. We get a good old duel victory. By the way, duel only gets cancelled if you get... Here. If you're pushed 2,000 units apart. This barely ever happens. If you blink in and then get glimpsed, then it might break. But this way, it won't break. So here, this is very great. We get some spells. We get a duel victory. We feel good about ourselves. Again, we have this blade mail completed. We're playing Dota, we use our purge, we use our blade mail, we duel. If you do go this build, make sure guys, before you duel, if it's only to get a kill, use your purge, use your blade mail, then use your duel. It can be a bit tricky sometimes, but just try to get down with the combination of, you know, keys you have to press in order to have the most successful duel coming up. So, we're gonna wait until we get this blink dagger right now. We got level 12 and blink. So, when you do get this stage of these items, there's two ways you want to play the game. Mostly. You're either gonna A, sit behind your core now and bait him so you can blink in, purge him, and then go in for a duel. Or you're just gonna sit on a side lane and look to get a pick off, maybe, you know, with your position 4 hero if he has damage, or however. Currently, I want to sit behind my core. I just got my blink that they don't know about yet. We know that they're coming, this is our vision, this is a Kunkka. So right now I kind of want to play around him, you know. So like we said earlier, I want to sit behind him. Even when you have this build, this is sometimes what you want to do. Because I don't just want to blindly jump in here and start the fight, okay? Even though I have these items, I don't want to do it if I don't know where they are. So we're just going to play behind our Jugger. They use their spells on him. I purge him, even though he's going to still be stunned. I'm giving him a lot of HP regen. He's Embrace too. So they use their boat, so that's really good. Like, boat buff is already running on the Kunkka right now. So here, let's put on our vision. And now the DP is coming, so I say, okay guys, I'm going in. I use my blade mail, I use my blink, I go in on Disruptor. Don't quite know if I'm gonna win this duel. Yes, I will. So even though I got stunned, we're gonna break 3 again. Here, small tip. If I knew he was gonna Omni Slash, I should buff him. Like, I would make his Omni Slash a lot stronger. Right here. So we still end up getting the kill. We kill this guy too, which is great. Now we TP mid, we kill him too. And this was another great thing too, like a small bonus tip to note. This was not my call. Rubik starts picking here that the duel is 12-second cooldown. This guy can't TP out. I mean, to be fair, he should probably just TP out, so we don't get this duel kill. But if they don't do it, not only do you waste their time, but I'm gonna end up getting a duel victory that I would not have otherwise. I would probably not have called for this play. That's why I end up tipping the Rubik, because I kinda, like, he just pinged my duel a lot. So here we get a DD rune. I'm still gonna end up going for a Solar Crest, because even though you don't have, Even though I don't have this full aura build, Solar Crest feels very good on this hero for multiple reasons. First of all, you nearly always have this Windlace, so you already make it better to buy it. Because you kind of just remove some costs because this item is too strong on the hero. And second of all, it helps you with objectives. And when you have these big team fights, you still don't want to be the first guy going in unless you have great vision. This is like a very good pick-off build. Or once you have your BKB, then it gets easier. But in this way, it's going to help us take Roche. It's going to help my Jug or DP to high ground, which is going to be one of the next timings we're going for. We're so far ahead that we're going to play for that. So here we just run into a Jug hero. Sadly, he fogs me a bit, but again, we use our PTA, we use our Blade Mail before we go in. We get a dual damage, 74 right now, which is great. We hit the tower down. Another good thing to note, this spell can proc on towers, so Legion is a pretty good objective hero once you do get some damage. So okay, here we're gonna push. I'm gonna back off soon. I don't really want to sit here with my cores. Again, it's important for you to have proper positioning so you can save your core and then turn around to fight. So we just sit behind them. That was not a good spin by Jugger. He should not have used his spin like that, because I can always purge him. But we have a good healing ward. They use a lot of spells. Tower nearly dies. Okay, we back off. It's bounty rune timing. So here I remember that I TP for the runes. And I see that the rune gets taken. So there's only two things possible. It's an invis rune or it's a blurred PA. So once I see this rune taken, I say in-game, PA is here with blur. Like here, I ping it. I jump in. I see that he's here. I use my Blade Bill. I use my Purge. I use my Q to give myself movement speed. And I get the duel off. I don't think I win this duel. No, not quite. Small tip, by the way, if there's ever anyone TPing out anywhere and you're not quite sure where they are, like here, let's pretend I didn't know he's here, but I use my Q spell. Just look at your move speed. If you hit any hero, you gain move speed. So boom, here, I gain 22 move speed. You see that you have this buff on the screen, the overwhelming odds buff, and you know that you hit someone. So in case you're trying to find someone in the trees, throw your spell and pay quick attention to either your move speed or the buff. So here I have two choices. I can run after this Kunkka or I can go here. So I feel like the better thing to do is to just go on this PA. Sadly, I won't get a dual win here. But I cancel his TP, which means in return I'm going to end up killing him. Also another thing, if people are TPing out, always try to win your duel. And that means be as greedy as possible. Like here, you see me blink in. I go for at least one auto attack before I duel him. Did I have PTA up? I should have purged. I should have buffed myself. I would have actually won this duel. Potentially, if I used Medallion and purged myself, I would have won this duel. But yeah, you get the point. So we're getting close to our Solar Crest. I'm sending the courier there. So again, my job now is to sit behind my core, buff them up with my Solar Crest, and now just be ready with the purge. And if I do see a good opportunity to duel, I will go in and use it. Solar Crest on him. He was kind of dead there, so I didn't really want to purge him. I'm just going to hold it for his respawn. Here we go. Solar Crest purge. He's fine. We get to disengage. We got the racks. And now here we're calling. I'm saying, be ready to turn. We have a super good ward. And I'm really strong. I have a lot of dual damage. Of course, we don't have Omni and we don't have DP ulti. But we're so far ahead and we have a great map positioning that we can go here. So here you see me ping. I'm getting ready right now. I'm going to purge myself. I'm going to blink in. Solar Crest him. And Blade Mail. Did I do the right combo? Because what you can do, what many people don't know, if you use Solar Crest aggressively, and then you purge yourself after, you remove the negative effect from yourself. I did not do it properly here. Because now when I use Solar Crest, I lose a lot of armor, right? Of course, you can't always do this in like stressful situations, but just think about it, okay? So what's gonna happen here? We back out, we go to this ward, we see them perfectly running in. So I blink in, I purge myself, I blink in. I'm gonna crest him, Blade Mail into duel. Look how much armor he loses on Kunkka. He nearly has negative armor, so we're just gonna go in. We have a great curse in the back. We're gonna kill this Kunkka. Sadly not a duel win, but still great. We get an Ice Path from Rubik. We team wipe them, and the game feels kind of over by now. We tank the tower, we hit, we Solar Crest all 4. And boom. This was a pretty cookie cutter Legion game when you have a good early game, And it's a very good blade mail game. So just to reiterate, I went blade mail in this game because it's a good Legion game. They have a PA carry who's like their one win condition. So if I lock him down later until he has like a satanic, he's gonna hate to play against my hero. Like he's really gonna hate. And same with Phantasm. Like if you hit the Phantasm with one hero, boom, it nearly instantly dies. So this spell is super good against push lineups when there's a lot of summons. It's really good against illusion carriers and illusions in general like this. Because as you can see, you just clear them really, really fast. See, like I said, what many people don't know, you can use this to manipulate denies, and it's not very hard, really. So you skill your passive. Let's get it 2 levels just for the sake of it being easier to do. So you skill your passive, and now all you're gonna have to do is to, in order for this spell to proc, you need to be getting hit by something, right? So you click on an enemy hero to draw creep aggro from the creeps, and then you instantly look to deny a creep. And then, I don't know why it works like this, but it has no cooldown when you proc it on denies. And it's really hard for your enemy to last it against you when you do this. Also here, a small tip which some people don't abuse. If you ever get in a position where you either want to push the lane back, or it's possible that the enemy team is not ready for you to come to laning contest, what you see me do here, I'm going to play your perspective again. So I'm pulling the wave back, and now I'm creep aggroing on the PA. I click on him, and now I run back. Now I force these melee creeps to follow me, and I'm going to manipulate them to run on this range creep, so that now this range creep is going to get into deny range first. And before they're ready to throw a dagger or whatever, I get to deny it. We're going to do the same thing here, where we pull 2 creeps back. And there's another small tip. When you do this, if you do get these creeps back, you need to pay attention how far you pull these 2 creeps back. Why? Because if you pull these two too far up, and then you want to pull it on the range creep, this range creep might be in tower range. Which means if you pull these melees on the range and the wave is too far up, the melee creeps will die before the range creep goes in the deny range. So you see me here taking a step down, so that when this fight happens later, and I aggro these 2 creeps on the range, that it doesn't happen in this circle. Because otherwise this range creep will not go into the deny range. So here again, we have 2 melee creeps that go on the range, and once again, they're not in range to come over and deny it. So boom, we get free gold for ourselves, better lane control, and we take experience away from the enemy team. Alright guys, so that's gonna be it for the first part of our Legion Commander series. We're gonna have 2 more videos for you soon. So you guys need to make sure that you stay tuned, because this is not everything there is to Legion Commander. We're gonna have another video explaining a different type of build, which is probably the more common like meta-ish build. And then the last video, which will be a short one, it basically just talks about the heroes you like to play with, you don't like to play with, and then the heroes you're really strong against, okay? So basically just giving you a better idea of what Legion Commander is about, and just giving you a better feel for the hero. So with that said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and that you enjoyed this content. As always guys, if you have any questions or if there's anything you want to see, just put it down below in the comments. You know, if you enjoy the content, give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the YouTube channel. And as you guys already know, this is brought to you by myself in collaboration with my friends over at Bitburger00. And if you guys continue to like this content, then you know we won't stop making it. We'll continue to make videos, educationals, tutorials, and you know, try to just help you guys out to get better at the Dota game. So with that said, I hope that you guys are going to enjoy this video and the upcoming ones, which I said which will come out in a few days. And then I'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in. See ya.